I did start writing songs. I wrote 3 or 4 bad ones. My dad was quite fascinated by this because he was a lifelong singer, but he never wrote a song in his life. And he asked me, how do you do that? I said, I don't know. I just start messing around on guitar as I did at the time. And then when I hear something that sounds good, then it starts to speak to me and I build it up into a song. And he said, could you do that right now? Can you write a song right now? So that's how Lifeline got going, because I came up with this. And it was incomplete for a year or so, and then I finally finished it, put it on my first vinyl album, and my only vinyl album, of course. And one of the things that happened to this song as part of its life was sometime after the album was released, I got a phone call. And it was from the relatives of one of my friends from back in the day, in the 70s, and he had passed away. His name was Pancake Turner. He was a really vivacious young guy, and he was one of the gang that used to go disco dancing in the late 70s in Seattle. I and a bunch of other people did that for every weekend, and he was one of that gang, and I really liked him. He was a neat guy. They said, we found this album in his stuff, and we wanted to know if you know what his favorite song was. And we'll play it at his funeral. And I said, I don't know what his favorite song was, but I do know which song you should play at the funeral. So this playing of Lifeline is dedicated to Pancake Turner. Body floating free, I see through crystal eyes. None in all humanity has ever felt so wise. Beauty above and below me. Why must this happen so slowly? Green hills are calling me home. The voice of earth is calling, please come home. My line of life is useless now. It reaches for the sky. Helpless we come to this world, and helpless we die. Beauty above and below me. Why must this happen so slowly? Green hills are calling me home. The voice of earth is calling, please come home. My gauges glow, they're telling me my time is running low. I have no fear of death, but God, I hate to go. There's beauty above and below me. Why must this happen so slowly? Green hills are calling me home. The voice of earth is calling, please come home. Mother Earth, I'm coming home. It will not happen soon. For the next 10,000 years I'll be another moon. The universe will slow me down. I know how strong you draw. And maybe in 10,000 years I'll be a shooting star. Beauty above and below me. Why must this happen so slowly? Green hills are calling me home. The voice of earth is calling. Please come home. Please come home. Thanks. That's one of the songs that I vividly remember playing on that bus ride, the one I spoke of last week when I wrote 7 Miles to Memphis about. And it's totally clear to me, having played that song a couple of times on that bus ride. I can remember people listening to it. I can remember what it felt like to play it. And that was really rewarding. The other song, I'm gonna play the only other song, although I must have played all 6 of these. I've got 6 songs picked out today. I must have played all 6 of these on that ride, but these 2 are the only ones that I vividly remember the actual moment. It's called "You Made Me Love You," and it's pretty simple. Just got 2 verses, but you know, it's got something going for it. So this is called "You Made Me Love You." Here we go. You made me love you, woman. You took me by surprise. Ooh, you made me love you, woman. You caught me with my eyes closed. Ooh, you made me love you, woman. You took me by surprise. Ooh, you made me love you, woman, when I did not realize what you had in mind for me and wanted us to be. Ooh, you made me love you, woman, when I wanted to be free. Ooh, you made me love you, woman. You took me by the hand. You made me love you, woman, when I did not understand you. Ooh, you made me love you, woman. You took me by the hand. Ooh, you made me love you, woman, when I would not understand what you felt inside for me. You crept up quietly. Ooh, you made me love you, woman, when I wanted to be free. Ooh, you made me love you, woman. You took me by surprise. Ooh, you made me love you, woman. You caught me with my eyes closed. Ooh, you made me love you, woman. You took me by the hand. Ooh, you made me love you, woman, when I would not understand what you felt inside for me and wanted us to be. Ooh, you made me love you, woman. Now take good care of me. I think that's the first time I played that since. Thanks, Roger. I think that's the first time I played that since the very first of these Zooms that I did all that time ago. Yeah, that's 50 Zoom concerts ago. This is my 50th show. What do you know? It's good. I'm gonna keep going. All right. So this is another one. This is for a friend, my best friend in high school and college. She was very real to me. We had one night where we talked all night long. We had another time when we went walking at 3 a.m. in the fresh snow that just fell. At one point, I felt sort of solipsistic. I don't know, people in there who are 19, 20 years old, I think, go through a lot of existential crises. It's some sort of an early life crisis. And I went through one of those, and I was feeling very alone in the world, and I wasn't sure. I felt kind of like nobody else in the world seemed quite real to me. And Alta was the only person in the world that I could guarantee that I knew that if I was floating in a vat of saline solution somewhere dreaming all this, that she was floating in her own vat of saline solution and was actually a real person instead of a non-player character. And that's how real this person was to me. So I wrote her this song. Till the mountains are aroused from their mighty sleep, till the oceans recede from the shore, till the living heart of Mother Earth is stilled forevermore, till there is no one to dream about the things that never could be, till the land is just a blackened scar that lines the aching sea, till the moon glares down with a demon's eye, and fire consumes the sky, till there is no thing such as death anymore, because nothing is left to die. I will love you The the devil moon in that song is a reference to a childhood dream. I used to have a recurring dream when I was, I don't know, 11, 12 years old. And I would be looking, it'd be nighttime, and I'd look up at the moon, and the moon would have this awful devil face in it, very scary. And so the moon was, glaring down with a demon's eye, and that's what that's a reference to. Those dreams, I made those dreams go away, or they went away on their own. First of all, I realized that I could make these things make sense in dreams. I realized that I could make the devil moon face go away if I burned Milwaukee Wiener packages. So I'd go in the backyard with a Milwaukee Wiener package, and I would light it on fire, and the moon would go back to normal. So I did that for a while, and then then I'd still have the dream, and what would happen would be at the end of the dream, or at the beginning of the dream, credits would roll up the screen. I would see a black background, and I would see a skull and crossbones, and then I would see words that I couldn't read rising up. It was, the director and the actors or whatever, typical movie credits. And I would eventually I got to recognizing that, and I would just see the credits, and I'd wake up, and I skipped the devil moon part. But then, then one night, the credits started to roll. The skull and crossbones appeared. I woke up and I looked at the wall, and there was a skull and crossbones embossed on the wood-paneled wall, jumping out of the wall. And I screamed, and I woke up for real, and I never had that dream again. So, yeah, that story. Ah, yes. So I did get out on my own, and my first place where I lived on my own was a studio apartment on Capitol Hill in Seattle. I had a fantastic view of the Space Needle out of my kitchen window, and I just had this one room and a kitchen, and I lived there for a year and a half, 2 years. And it was a great place. It was this carved up old mansion with 6 or 7 apartments in it. It's gone now. It's not only is it a condo, but the view is now blocked by another condo across the street, so it's useless. But oh my gosh, that was a great place. For $75 a month, I was making $500 a month and paying $75 for rent. That tells you something about affordability. A recent buzzword. I would pay 5 or 6 months rent in advance just to keep it convenient, and there's no doing that anymore. But anyway, this was a great view, and I looked out at the Space Needle, and I had a kitchen table, one of those old school mid-century Formica-topped tables with the ribbed aluminum edging around the outside. And I sat down at that table one day with a notebook and my guitar, and I wrote this song. And all I can remember about that session is that I went into is coming up with these 2 chords. I don't know why they seem to go together to me. They're actually a little bit out of the box. And also I remember the trance state that I was in, because it was so weird. I started writing this song, and then about 2 hours later I had the song. And I don't remember anything in between, except for, that set things off. So anyway, here's Sweet Maria. Once again, I'm going to skip the intro and let the song speak for itself. Normally I explain some things, but I'll let them be mysterious this time. I met her in an underwater vegan bar. She looked alright to me, with crimson hair and a pink cigar from Aldebaran 3. I got behind her in the line and pondered what to do. I asked for foaming Bridgelian wine, and she said, make it 2. Sweet, sweet Maria, dancing in the sun. Sweet, sweet Maria, it's not the only one. We drank our wine and danced all night. We laughed away our cares. We talked until the place closed down and the robot stacked the chairs. I called up an all-night hydrofoil and took her back to land. I started working on a classy line. She took me by the hand. Sweet, sweet Maria, dancing in the sun. Sweet, sweet Maria, it's not the only one. Blue white morning, we made some tea. She told me of her home, the hanging gardens of the southern sea, and the sirens of Salome. She said, why don't you stay with me? I do the best I can. A planet's smaller than a galaxy, but it's bigger than a man. I said, the captain's leaving when the sun goes down. I'd like to stay with you, but life is sweet and life is short, and there's an awful lot to do. I said, sweet, sweet Maria, spinning round this sun. Sweet, sweet Maria, it's not the only one. Half past 10 in the afternoon, I put my helmet on. By 13:30 I was on my way, and half a parsec gone. But I still remember that endless night, laughing in the grass. It seems like yesterday, I can't believe 100 years have passed. Sweet, sweet Maria, dancing in the sun. Sweet, sweet Maria, I'm not content with one. Sweet Maria, spinning round that sun. Sweet, sweet Maria, it's not the only one. Thank you. Well, let me tell you a little story here. I just want to mention a dear friend of mine from Seattle that I only knew for a little while. Her name was Candy Fast. And that was her real name, named that by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Fast. And Candy, there was a chocolatier in Seattle. It was quite famous, a big company now. It's called Dilettante Chocolates. And they make really wonderful stuff, super good stuff. And it was started by a guy named Dana Davenport who moved to Seattle from Belgium. and started his business making genuine Belgian chocolates in Seattle. Grew it up from, he was just doing everything. Finally, he got big enough that he could hire an employee, and the first employee he hired was Candy Fast, who was a friend of mine. And she was a great singer. We used to sing harmony. I can remember walking around Capitol Hill in the middle of the night singing, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low. And the two of us in harmony sounded really nice on that song. And this next one that I'm going to sing for you was her favorite song of mine. And Candy vanished out of my life twice. First time she vanished, I just lost track of her. We were pretty, didn't have phones in those days, and it was pretty easy to lose track of each other. And she disappeared. And I was driving in Bellevue, and I made an illegal U-turn. And a motorcycle cop pulled me over. He says, "I hope you know you just made an illegal U." And I said, "Yeah." I had pulled into a gravel pullout. It was actually also a bus stop, and he pulled up beside me. He says, "Oh, I'm going to have to write you a citation." I said, "Yeah, okay, I know." He started working, and all of a sudden his radio went off, and he said, "Oh, you're in luck. I got a call across the city. I got to go." So he said, "Don't do it again." I said, "All right." And this woman came up to the window of the car and said, "I was trying to wave to you to let you know you were, about to make an illegal..." "Gary?" And I said, "Candy?" And sure enough, it was my friend Candy again. Total coincidence. So that, thank you. Hats off to that motorcycle cop. Thank you for delivering my friend back to me. And we hung out a lot again for some months. And she got married and moved to Yakima, and that's the last I saw her. All right, this is Walking Downtown on a Rainy Day, also called Blues Down to My Skin. It's my most Seattle-ish song, and that is, this time I'm playing it in honor of Candy Fast. With my feet right in it and my head in the air, I feel it on my smile. It's the first I've felt it in a long, long time. I hope it stays around for a while. Yeah, I hope it hangs around for a while. 'Cause I'm walking downtown on a rainy day. Don't let the sunshine in. The sunshine never makes me feel this way. I got the blues right down to my skin. I got the blues soaking down to my skin. Well, I got no place that I want to go. I got no place I want to be. I got cool, clear water running down my face. And that's all that matters to me. Well, that's the only thing that matters to me. 'Cause I'm walking downtown on a rainy day. Don't let the sunshine in. The sunshine never makes me feel this way. I got the blues right down to my skin. I got the blues soaking down to my skin. I got the blues right down to